Hello everyone, my name is Binks and welcome back to Let's Play Dear Monster. Since I last recorded this game, it looked like the game had some kind of update going on. And when I went to load my save, it was like corrupted or messed up or something. So I think the day I was dreading has finally arrived. That they had warned forever that because my computer is old and only works with Windows 7, I was not able to move on to like Windows 8 or anything else when the new stuff came out. It didn't let me because this computer is very old. Steam no longer will be working well with Windows 7. So it looks like this is the first case of that happening, my game full right on like not working. Like with other games, like I'm not able to install anything new or play anything new, so I'm only able to play games that I already had installed, which I wish I had known because I had uninstalled some stuff and I'm like, damn. But anyway, so I actually had to go back all the way to the beginning and replay it. And unfortunately, when I went to skip, it didn't even let me skip like normal. uh like it was acting like this was my first time playing like ever. So yeah, the game is acting very differently. So we are very close to the ending of Slagathor's route, so I don't know how long this is going to take, but I'm a little worried about saving and all of that. So I don't have much time. That's the problem. But I'm going to try my best to get through this and see if I can just finish it today in just one episode or maybe two in just one recording session, because I don't want any more problems with this. Clearly my computer and Steam are just not going to get along anymore. So let's get to it. So I think last he said was it's a long story. Please don't let it be too long, Slagathor, because I gotta get through this. Slagathor steps to the door, still wide open, and eases back into it, gesturing for me to follow. All that talking about the tribe and the druids, I started to think about some of the choices I've made. Thinking about how I got. Oh, excuse me. Oh no, hiccups. No! Worst time. Thinking about how I got here, how I've changed since I left the tribe, that kind of stuff. I got a really dumb idea and I went for it without really thinking about it. What was the idea? I looked at the tribe's token I use for the bell. I was trying to figure out if I should pull it out and try and pay the tribe a visit. You want to go back? No, I really don't. But talking to you about the foragers, it sort of clicked. I don't really understand a lot of the things I grew up with. Not really. Runes, natural magic. I didn't really pick up much of anything. But I have a few questions I want to ask them, even if I don't intend to go back to stay. And I was thinking they may be able to help you if you want to try. You want me to come with you? You were right before. If you're not interested in familiar bones or anything fancy like that, I'm not gonna force you into it. Personally, the little bit of magic I could consume was always precious to me. I was sort of jealous of people who could use it on their own. But just because I can't really wrap my head around wanting to cut that part of you off, it doesn't mean I can't relate in a way. So, peace offering. Let's see if we can both figure out what we're doing here. Slagathor. Aw. You really don't have to do this for me, you know. If you don't want to go back, I'll figure something out. I was looking it up yesterday with with Farron.
I know.
You heard Farron?
I did. And I just want to make it clear here.
Oh, and that's the problem. Is like knowing that he overheard their conversation in the library. If we had said anything other than, I don't believe it, that would have really hurt his feelings, you know? Because Farron was saying such horrible things.
I have no idea what happens to orcs when they absorb magic. I don't know the history of druids or what our bodies are set up for. That's knowledge kept by the druids for themselves. And that's why I want to go, more than anything. If I've been making us both worse, because no one ever explained it to me. Honestly, baby, that genuinely pisses me off, and I've never really liked being mad.
Aw, and he calls him baby. I love that. I think that's so cute. You guys are. He's such a green flag. He is green and he's a green flag. They're super cute together. Aw. It's not the most appropriate time to find Slagathor's mad face hot, but the feeling hits full force nonetheless. My heart races and I can't tell if it's arousal or affection. In that case, I'm with you. 100%.
Good. One quick thing though.
What?
If the druids throw a fit about you being in the camp, I'm probably just gonna say we're married.
Oh. Married? Ooh, ooh la la. You what?
Orcs don't really have a lot of policies in place for people that aren't orcs. The closest concept we have to bringing in outsiders is when people from other tribes marry in. So that's pretty much the only loophole I could go for if they wanna be picky.
Slagathor?
Yeah,
Your proposal sucks. He's like, I expect to be wooed with food and drink and flowers, you know, the whole works.
ha! I'll work on it. I've only known you a couple days. You can't rush perfection.
True. Don't force it, big guy. Oh, they're so cute. Look at their faces. I just want to squeeze your cheeks. Slagathor,
What?
thank you for doing this for me.
Alan, baby, come here.
Oh, by the way, my girlfriend, Coco, we were streaming the demo of the new Yang Yang mobile game called High Times. And by the way, that one looks really cool, really interesting. I'm so excited for it. Can't wait to play it when it comes out. It's a like a dating sim. Kind of reminds me of like Valhalla and with food with donuts. It's just really great. And the character she created was really cute, and she named her Slagathor, which was just the funniest thing. You're so funny, Coco. It was great.
Alan, baby, come here.
Hmm? Aw. Gives him hug.
The rebel kids gotta stick together. I know, it's been a crazy few days for you. I'm just trying to help you carry that a little. And it helps me too, you know. I've been asking myself questions for years, without bothering to hunt down the questions for years.
I think I said it wrong.
Without bothering to hunt down the answers. You kicked my ass into gear.
Still, thank you.
Wait to thank me when we've figured out our answers. Or when Momo manages to find out how humans make whipped cream for me. Still trying to figure that one out.
After our talk, Slagathor picks apart the bell, pulling out the talisman to check on it. It takes a bit for him to confirm he can still use it, and us to gather a few things to travel with before we head out. It's weird that I was about to say it's weird that there's no sounds or music, but there we go. I have no concept of where we're going, or how long it will take. The Slagathor seems to be honed in on whatever feeling he's getting from the charm in his hands. I try not to ask any questions. Still, he's definitely a lackluster tour guide. Right as I'm mentally rating this forest tour 1 star, Slagathor abruptly stops and I end up running straight into his back. What is it?
There are runes.
I blink, looking where Slagathor is looking. It takes a second to realize what he's talking about. But eventually, I make out an odd shimmer in the grass, forming a pattern that looks almost like a Celtic knot. So that's what the runes you mentioned look like?
It's a bit bigger than I remember, but yeah, those are perimeter runes. They keep predators from being able to smell things inside the camp.
But there's not a camp here.
Maybe. Right, of course.
Of course, what? Slagathor reaches out, pulling me over to him, scooping me up into his arms. I don't even have a second to protest before the soft shimmer of the rune in front of us brightens, and the previously impenetrable wall of trees suddenly has a clearing in the center, where several thatched huts stand.
They didn't know who you were.
Stepping just over the edge of the rune, Slagathor sets me back down. So this is...
Slagathor! That didn't take very long.
Oh, Big Papa. Hello, sir.
He kind of reminds me of like what Thor or Odin would look like if they were an orc. You've had that token for how long now, and you just now bother to pick it up.
Slagathor shifts his weight between his feet, a strained smile on his face.
Hello, Chief.
Chief? So, this is your father? You're gonna look like this when you're older? Damn.
What is this? A human wizard of all things.
The chief interrupts, but it's dropped from the common tongue I can follow into that weird, gravelly orc language. I suddenly feel sympathy for all the people who complain about meeting their partner's parents for the first time.
We need to speak to the druids. You!
The conversation swaps to a language I can follow in mid-sentence, and my attention snaps back. The chief looks like he might explode, and I feel like I led Slagathor headfirst into irreversible family drama. I mean, we haven't had... well, yeah, we had a little bit of family drama with Imbrus, with his father, his evil dragon dad. And now here we are with a little more Papa drama. Oh boy. Only the same second I think that, something in the air shifts, and the anger of both of them seems to melt away.
Typical. All these years out of camp, and all you can think about is playing with plants.
The chief turns and heads inside, shouting in their language, leaving me and Slagathor at the edge of camp. Did that go... well? I can't tell.
Huh, it went fine. He's getting the head druid, I figure. There's a chance they won't let you in. I'll have to talk to them. I don't really want to leave you out here, but it might be the only way we get in. It's you that would get stuck, so I'll let you pick, alright?
I don't know. I don't remember. I feel like I don't want to ruffle any feathers, but I mean, we could just do whatever they ask, but then I'm worried that they might ask something bad. Maybe it's, I mean, he kind of was saying, what was he saying? Where's the, do we have a, no. For some reason I thought we had like a log. I think he was kind of saying that it's better if we stay out here, so maybe we should just stay out here? I don't remember. I'm kind of curious and want to go in, but I don't think that's the right answer. It's one the first or the second. I'll just wait for you out here.
Just stay in front of the ruin, so you're not shut out. You're an outsider, so they probably won't approach. And if they do, you should just ignore them.
There's no one I should meet or anything?
You just met him, and unfortunately, that's about as good as it gets.
No pressure. We wait at the edge of the forest for a bit before finally the chief comes back.
Slagathor, you'll see the druids. Human, you'll stay with me. Chief, I have arranged it. Go on before they revoke the invitation.
Slagathor meets my eyes. Not seeing much room to argue, I give a small nod.
All right, I'll be back soon.
There's a half-second pause before Slagathor gently leans over, pecking a soft kiss to my forehead. Aw. As soon as that's done, he heads off, moving quickly toward the camp. Awkward! Time alone with your significant other's parent.
Well then.
Hello. It's nice to meet you. The chief doesn't even acknowledge I talked, just tips his head up, eyeing me the way a butcher eyes meat.
How did you do it?
I'm sorry?
As you should be. Answer the question.
I don't know if there's a language barrier or a cultural one. Either way, I'm pretty sure I'm being interrogated, and I have no idea what for. I'm sorry, sir. I'm not really sure what you're asking.
Don't pretend to be stupid. My son has so much magic in his body. It feels like it's coming from him, and it's clearly yours. I've never seen such a thing. What did you do?
We had sex. A lot of sex. Oh. Slagathor has that much of my magic?
Huh, you genuinely don't know.
I'm afraid not. I knew he was absorbing some of it, but to be honest, I'm not even sure how you're meant to judge that kind of thing.
You don't understand your own magic. Ugh, humans, why are they always like this? The druids will help Slagathor sort the balance of magic in his system, I imagine. If they do, do not put more into him. It's clear Slagathor wouldn't have chosen to come back if you hadn't forced it on him, but...
Excuse me?
I do not appreciate your tone, human.
Slagathor took the excess magic from me on his own. I didn't force him. I didn't even ask him. I needed help, so he just did.
Huh.
Without arguing any further, the chief simply turns and walks off, leaving me staring in bewilderment at his back. I feel like I should have a guard. Maybe we should have brought Nugget. More orcs pass by me, but no one comes over. I'm not sure if it's a good sign or a very, very bad one. I feel a bit like a kid lost in the mall. Or in a foreign country, one where I don't speak the language and we're only here for a vacation. I might be having a mild mental breakdown. Luckily, right when I'm at my wit's end, Slagathor comes rushing back up to me.
Oh, good. I was kinda worried they'd cart you off somewhere.
You what?
I got some information. We should.
What is it?
Something feels off.
Off? Off how? I look around nervously, but no one else seems to be bothered. Not that I really have much reference for what an anxious camp of orcs is supposed to look like. What was that?
Too much magic in one place. We caught something's attention.
Uh-oh. Don't tell me it's this. I'm gonna laugh if it's frickin' Empress's dad, who I just referenced. Angry Fire Dragon. Something like a thing that wants to eat us type of something?
Probably.
Oh man. You're not allowed to plan the vacations anymore. Cute.
Huh?
Never mind. What do we do? Run?
We'd be outside the camp, which makes us even more of a target. Staying in the camp would be better, but that only leaves us a couple of options.
What options?
You have a lot of magic. Every creature around here has a limit. If you let off enough of it, it should just get startled and leave.
I'm not sure I know how to do that on purpose. It's only ever been on accident.
There's also the other option.
Slagathor gestures to the rune half hidden in the grass at my feet.
The druids gave me a bit of a tip about how the runes work. If you were willing to lend a bit of magic to me, I could probably strengthen it up a little. It'd hide the camp.
Which do you think is the best option?
None by themselves. Chief, that's a firebird, Thor.
Oh, so it's not a dragon, but it is a flying bird creature. It's a flying creature that like has fire. So it's similar enough.
It'll wreck the forest even if it dodges us. It was my mistake. I had your partner stand on the rune this whole time. That much magic in one spot, right at the border of the cover. Of course it would be noticed. But it's a simple fix. Distract it, and I'll have a hunting team take it down. That's a lot of faith to put in us.
The chief's eyes turned to me, assessing for a long moment before looking away again.
Something tells me you'll pull it off. Well then, Distraction it is. Listen, overloading your magic isn't easy, and it isn't good for you. If you're willing to trust me, the runes are the easiest thing for us to use. Are you willing to try?
I can't believe. I know this is for like the bad ending, but like at this point we're gonna say, "Are you really worried about me?" Like, what's wrong with Alan in that route, man? Constantly doubting and questioning him makes me mad. I trust you. Let's use the runes.
I appreciate the faith in me, Alan. Here's hoping I'm not full of shit and can actually pull this off.
We move a few steps out into the woods, and the moment I step off the edge of the rune, the camp flickers back out of view. It's wild how it does that.
I've actually not seen it do that before. I knew it could, but the rune doesn't activate unless something gets too close. It doesn't register the tribe at all, so I've never seen it disappear like that. Still, that helps us out for now.
He crouches beside the rune, brushing aside some of the leaves that obscure the lines. I move a little closer, but I can't quite figure out how the mark is even made. It had a faint light to it, but it doesn't look like paint or anything. It's just sort of there. Like the sun is being reflected in a perfect pattern by sheer coincidence. How do they draw these? Slagathor pauses a moment, but then carries on, clearing away the spot of the rune.
They told me a little bit, but I'm no expert. Short answer though, it's magic.
So, it's not just a tool you guys use, it's like a spell?
As far as I understand, yeah. Which is where I need your help. Obviously I don't have my own magic. So, if I'm going to make this strong enough to hide the camp and confuse the firebird, I'll need to borrow yours.
Could I do it myself?
I don't think so. For the same reason it hides the camp from you. You're not an orc. Something about the way these runes work, it has to be us. Are you ready?
Yeah, let's give it a shot. I step over to Slagathor, and he draws me into his arms. A moment later, I feel a familiar warm rush, the soft flow of my magic. With him drawing away my magic, I expect to feel like I'm being drained. Instead, though, it feels similar to the berry in the woods before, or the time my magic backlashed and we had sex. It's warm and pleasant, feeling the magic flood me. It's like Slagathor is an extension of my body, and the magic rolls into him freely. It's easier than the flood of my magic overwhelming me when out of control. I get this feeling. It's almost like it's easier for Slagathor to access my magic than it is for me to use it myself. Does this make us perfect for each other or something? I don't have much time to consider that, though, before something shifts, and the warm blanket of the magic feeling turns into a vice, tightening around me.
Hold on, I'm trying to make it connect. There it is.
The vice releases at once, and the feeling of magic floods out like water out of a dam. A bright glow floods my vision, and I have to blink several times to clear it. What happened? Slagathor?
Breathe, it's not real.
It's not?
I'm glad to see it worked, honestly. It was just a random idea. When the firebird arrives, it should see this. It looks like a firebird hunting ground. They tend to avoid each other's territory, so it will have to decide what it wants to do. And then when it leaves, the hunting party can follow it.
That's a good plan.
Don't sound so surprised, you'll make me feel bad. I grew up doing this, remember? Well, minus the magic part. That's definitely new.
I think you're already better at it than me, though.
Well...
Slagathor looks like he wants to say something, but then turns away, his eyes looking back in the direction of the camp.
Let's check in with the others.
Okay. I'm curious what he wanted to say, but I'll wait to ask when he has the time to explain more about the runes and what the druids told him. Let's go then.
Druids say that's the strongest a border rune has ever been. What did you do? Just tried something out. The camp looks like another firebird's been here now from the outside. It should make this one retreat. If you follow it, you should be able to get to its nest. Nothing like a firebird hunt. You've already done half the work for us. You might as well get the glory for it, eh, Slagathor? Come on, hunt with us. Thank you. I know what it means to you, inviting me on a hunt. But I'm really not coming back. I just needed answers. You came all the way here, and you're really just going to turn around and leave again? Aren't we your family anymore? The tribe is family still, but I'm not a hunter or a soldier, and I am definitely not a chief.
Wait, what does that mean?
Exactly what it sounds like, human. He's my son. Of course he should have been chief. I really couldn't have. I don't have it in me. I just like to take care of people. And there's people who need me a lot more than the camp does. So that's where I'm gonna be. Fine then. Leave again. Keep hanging on to this rebellious phase. Just make sure the next time you drag your ass back here, you don't break our seals in the process.
At least he didn't say don't come back, you know? Clearly he does want him to come back. Being all tsundere about it. I hear the cry of the hunting party taking up arms as we leave. But when the rune flickers back into place, it cuts the noise off too. We walk back through the woods in silence. It's night when we arrive back at Slagathor's camp. There are things we should talk about, but we're both tired. I sigh and rub my eyes with the back of my hand.
I feel like it's a good time to sleep right about now, but I should make sure the kitchen is fine and no one needed anything while we were gone.
Or you could sleep and catch up tomorrow, because you've told me already how you never take a day off. Ever. And that's a hell of a good reason to take a break.
I mean, you're not wrong, but...
But you're a workaholic?
Ha! Okay, fair enough. You got me. Sleep and then damage control.
And shouldn't we talk about what you learned?
Right. Probably right now, honestly. I've put it off the whole walk back, but you should know.
The need to know outweighs my fatigue. I become alert in all ears.
Like I said before, runes are magic. For most orcs, where magic enters our system, it soaks in and becomes regular energy. We digest it like food. And there's only so much we can process before we hit a limit, the same way you can only eat so much at a time. But druids, the orcs who are chosen to become druids, don't process magic like that. It stays separate. Magic sits in their system. It doesn't burn off or soak in, they just hold on to it until it's put to use. Druids use runes to redirect the magic they take in. It keeps other orcs from taking in more than they can manage. Helps them protect the tribe, all that. But it also gives them somewhere for that magic to go, so they're not overloading their systems. Magic can't sit in one place forever. It's like blood. It's got to flow.
So, orcs that become druids, they're wizards?
Not really. We can't make magic. Our body doesn't produce it, but if we get it from something else, we can use it. But what Farron told you about from that book is another take on the story of why the druids hide that from the tribe. Druids used to try and bond with other magical beings, bring them into orc clans as a source of magic. Except they could only have one or two in a tribe at a time, and there could be over a dozen druids, all drawing magic from every single rune they drew. It didn't exactly go well for the wizards involved.
Eek, just sucking them dry, huh?
So, there's the truth. I could accidentally hurt you, drawing your magic if I overdo it. But I'd have to actively choose to draw more magic than you're producing, and I have no intention of doing that.
I see.
There's another thing.
When I was talking to the druids, I mentioned the way your magic just floods out, and they had a thought about why that could be.
They did? What is it? Can we fix it?
I'm not sure. They said it sounds similar to the way druids experience backlash if they don't release magic often enough. Their theory was that something is keeping you from being able to release your magic, and because of that, it's flooding you. It probably wouldn't have been a problem if you'd stayed in the human world where magic isn't very strong, but here, you're constantly pushing your body's limit and there's no place for it to go. As for why it can't get out, I understand almost immediately. Someone did something to it. My aunt, probably. That's what you're thinking, right? Can't be certain, but it makes sense from what you said. She never told you about your grandpa or any of this. She clearly didn't want you involved in magic. It's possible she just figured it'd be easiest for you not to have it at all and cut it off. Honestly, doing that without even giving you the choice or telling you what she was doing. Well, if it was her, I've got some things to say to her if she ever comes back to the mansion.
Yeah, you go, Slagathor. You step up to her for your man. Yeah. I love how protective of him he is. That's really cute.
But as for a fix, I don't really have one.
I think... Actually, I think I might have figured that out without even realizing it.
Really?
It didn't really make sense at the time, but when you were using my magic on the rune, it was easier for me to give you magic than it was trying to control it when it was leaking out the other day. Whatever stops me from controlling my magic doesn't apply to you, so you can take it and use it without problems.
Well, that's really not helpful for you.
Yeah, but maybe if you draw magic from me and feed it back, maybe having it be shared between us would override whatever is locking it in?
I guess that's worth a shot.
In the morning, though, it's been a long day.
Ha! Agreed. Let's go to bed.
When you say let's...
I mean, you should stay, yeah, if you're interested. No funny business, though. Don't want you stumbling around the mansion half asleep all day tomorrow.
Okay. Look at that pouty face.
Ha! You don't have to look so disappointed. Morning's not that far away.
Oh, okay. They're super cute. Slagathor leads me into the small lean-to hut. Is that the name of it? Lean-to hut? I don't know. To the side of the campfire and gets into the roll of blankets and furs on the ground there, dragging me down to join him. After a second, he's out. No matter how horny I feel, his deep, even breaths lulled me to sleep not long after. Alright, I think that's a good place to leave it because this is a pretty lengthy time and I feel like the next one will definitely be the end. So, man, I'm curious and worried about the whole saving thing. So, I don't know. I don't trust it. I can try, but I don't know. It's probably not worth it. Anyway, it's not you guys' problem. It's my problem. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. And until next time, have a nice day. Bye.